Hello, my loves. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Becoming You podcast, and welcome to 2023. This is very exciting, and today's episode is going to be based on what are the things I am putting in place for 2023. So I am not a big fan of New Year's resolutions, but this year I'm actually picking areas of my life that I really want to focus on and setting like an overarching intention. So one of the things I knew coming into 2023 was to really refocus on my health. So in the last, I would say, year and a half to 2 years, I really let my workouts just kind of disappear. I'm still very much focused on eating healthy, but I have stopped moving my body, you guys. And I'm starting to notice the effects of it. Like I'm going to be 41 this year, and I've always been very blessed with a lean body, but I don't have muscle. I don't feel strong. I don't feel flexible. And my stamina is very low. And last year when I did the Everesting challenge, that was in October of 2021, I really did push myself and I was very healthy with the training and everything. But once the challenge was done, it's like I literally fell off a cliff in terms of my physical health, and I haven't really done anything. And I used to be so good about going to the gym and doing like beach body workouts and things like that. So part of the reason why my physical health has been kind of not a priority is as some of you might know, I have an autoimmune disease. So I battle a lot with inflammation and joint pain. So doing exercise itself feels great, but it's what happens post workout. It's like my recovery is really hard. And this is part of my autoimmune disease issues, is that my muscles don't recover as fast. Because I know when you lift weights, you literally are tearing down your muscles to rebuild them to be stronger. So that damage, the intentional damage that you create in your body actually has an adverse effect on my body. So anyway, without going into too much detail, the recovery period is brutal and my range of mobility is limited and painful. So for that reason, I've been scared and I just haven't spent enough time researching, trying different things. And just been avoiding it, right? Isn't that the story of everyone's life, where something feels a little complicated and hard and challenging, and we're like, I just don't have the time, and we don't prioritize it. But this year, I should say at the end of last year, I decided no more. Health is going to be a priority. So I've been following, another South Asian woman who is in the same space as I am in terms of coaching. We coach very differently and we coach different audiences, but she's in the personal development world and I really respect her and trust her immensely. And though we don't have a deeply personal relationship, like I trust her recommendations and things like that. So for the last 9 months, she's been working out with a training company and I've been really drawn to them. And so I've been following this company for a while, and I talked to my husband and I said, I think we really need to focus on our health this year, both of us. And so we had a conversation with this personal training company and we both so I signed up and I already started. I'm going to give you all the details about it. And my husband is going to start in March just because he's got a lot of travel coming up in January and February. And, whenever you sign up to something as big as this, you really want to make sure that you are committed. So one of the things I want to talk about is the difference between being ready and committed. And I heard this through my own breathwork coach that I have. And she had a whole session on this about, are you ready or are you committed? And I thought that was such a powerful question because so many of us are ready. We're ready to change our lives. We're ready to change our health. We're ready. But then we're not committed, right? Because to go from ready to committed requires action and requires consistent action. And so I kept saying, I'm ready for my health to improve, my physical health to improve, but I wasn't really committed to what I was saying because I wasn't taking any action. So part of my commitment is when I invest in myself, when I put my money where my mouth is, I show up. And I think this is the case for so many of us, but we don't admit it. We think we can do it alone. We think we can do it without spending too much money. We're looking for the number of, so I'm going to go off on a rant here. So we're all part of Facebook, right? And then we all love to ask people for recommendations for help that we need. So whether it's a hairdresser or a painter for our house or whatever it might be, I see a lot of people posting on Facebook going, I'm looking for so-and-so, but at a reasonable cost that doesn't break the bank, that doesn't, not, super expensive. And I think that is such a disservice to ourselves, because what we're saying is like, I kind of want to get help, but I'm not worth it, right? I'm not saying like, don't look at the value of it, but if you're really serious about something, you really do want to pay an amount that makes you uncomfortable. Because if you're comfortable and things go wrong, you're like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Like, okay, it wasn't too much money wasted. This is why we don't really invest amounts that feel scary, right? Comfort is our enemy of creating an amazing life. So that's my little mini rant there. Stop asking for things that are cheap, right? I hate that word. So my husband and I signed up for this company that's going to help us. And so that is really upping my commitment. So let me give you an insight into, I've only been doing this for like a week, right? But it's intense. So I had to fill out an intake questionnaire and they got to know me. And they're giving me a nutrition plan based on how I eat, right? Like they actually asked me, what are your 3 top favorite foods that you would hate to not have as part of the nutrition plan? So I told, of course, I'm Indian. I put rice on there, right? And so they came back to me with a nutrition plan that included it. And for the first week, I'm eating the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? And I hated that aspect of it. And I was like, why? I'm used to preparing really healthy meals. But they said, you know what? You have so much that you are doing the first month in terms of habits and new changes. We want to reduce decision fatigue, right? Decision fatigue is when you're so tired of trying to make decisions that you just throw in the towel on any new habit and just go back to your old ways. And that's very real. So if you want to be successful in creating a new habit, you really want to try and remove as much decision fatigue out of it. For instance, if you want to start working out yourself in the new year, like lay out the clothes for the gym, right? So now I have to weigh myself every morning, not because I'm trying to lose weight. They really want to track my muscle gain, right? And they want to get an average of what my weight is because your weight fluctuates plus or minus 5 pounds every day. And so I lay out, so now I've laid out the weighing scale. I put my gym clothes right next to it and I put my Fitbit right next to it. So that's all like reducing decision fatigue, because you don't want to be looking for your Fitbit in the morning, not know where you put it, right? So part of their way of reducing decision fatigue is by saying you're just going to eat the same thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the first 7 days, so that because you're going to be facing plenty of resistance as it is. And so let's just make one thing easier. So I've, done the prep for like 2 to 3 days worth of meals, and they're actually all delicious. I have to drink 8.5 cups of water a day, which is insane because I was probably drinking about 2 to 3 cups. That's about 84 fluid ounces, you guys. That is so much for me, and I'm peeing like a racehorse every day. I have to get in 10,000 steps every single day, non-negotiable. And I was averaging 2,000 to 3,000 steps a day because I work from home, and at the most, I probably walk my kids to school once a day. That's it. So it's been really challenging to kind of figure out where am I going to squeeze all of this in. And then in addition to that, I have to get in 3 workouts a week, and I have to report every single day, which a part of me loves that aspect because I'm like, oh, something to do towards my goals every day. So I have to report like my water intake, my steps, my weight every day. And then eventually we'll be adding like nutrition to that too. But right now, because I just have a set nutrition plan, I don't have to do anything to that part. And then I have to videotape myself of working out the exercises so that they can check on my form. And they give me feedback because it's all virtual. It's not in person. And then finally, I feel like there's one more thing they have is and I have a weekly check-in. So every time I work out, I have to take a video of not like the 45-minute workout, but like a 30-second video of my form of doing a certain exercise so that they can give me feedback. And then every week on Thursday night, I have to fill in an online form to give them feedback about what's gone well, what's not, what's challenging, what's tripping me up, things like that. It's a lot, right? Just from hearing it, you're like, whoa, that feels like it's going to take over my life. And right now, it does feel like physical, my physical workout thing has taken up all my mental capacity. And that's okay. That's okay. It's really uncomfortable. I'm not enjoying certain aspects of it. But that's what it means to be committed, right? Bringing change into your life, bringing transformation into your life, especially, requires intense growth. And you cannot have intense growth without intense discomfort. Comfort and growth cannot exist like symbiotically, right? I wouldn't even say they're on the same ends, or like different ends of the spectrum. Your mind wants comfort. We all want to stay in our comfort zone. We don't want to do anything that makes us slightly uncomfortable, like going from 3,000 steps a day to 10,000 steps a day. That requires me to get out of my house and go for a 20-minute walk twice a day, no matter the weather. I hate the cold. I hate the rain, right? I just want to be nice and cozy in my home. Being nice and cozy in my home is comfortable. Getting out there, walking in, any kind of weather to meet a certain goal, I don't want that. That makes me uncomfortable. But if you're truly committed to your well-being, it requires commitment. And for me, commitment is brought by money, investing money in myself, investing in an expert who knows what they are doing, and they are going to challenge you, right? That's really where transformation comes from. So that's part one of what I'm focused on in 2023 is my physical health. I'll keep you guys updated periodically about how all of this is going. Okay. Number two, what I'm focused on is relationships, especially my marriage, right? Nothing's wrong with our marriage, but I feel like we're in that phase of our life where our kids are like almost, teens. One is almost a teen, one is like a tween. And they require a lot of our time and attention. And I love spending time with my kids and showering them with individual attention so they both feel, wholesome and they feel seen and understood. And I really know that these are like these years are going to shape them for the rest of their life. And they're coming into some of their most challenging years of middle school and high school. So I pour a lot into my relationship with my kiddos. And a side note, this is another thing I'm implementing this year. I noticed recently that my youngest and I have connection time, deep connection time. He loves it. He's a little kid who's, showers, and he wants his mom in the bathroom when he's showering, right? And that 10 minutes that he's showering is when we get to sit and chat about his day. And he shares like random thoughts about what he's thought about all day. And it's wonderful. And then once the shower is done and I get him ready for bed, we sit and cuddle. He has like a chair underneath his loft bed. And we just hug. And sometimes it's just silent. And we tell each other how much we love each other. And it's so like meaningful. And it fills my heart. It fills my heart. This time, this 10, 15, 20 minutes of precious time we have together. And he's told me countless number of times how special this time of day is for him and how it's his favorite time of day. So we fill each other's cups in that way. But I realized recently that my almost teenager, just like every teenager, is becoming a little bit more withdrawn. Like he spends a lot of time reading on his Kindle. He spends a lot of time giggling, listening to certain podcasts. And he spends a lot of time on his phone chatting with his friends because that's how we are as teenagers, guys, right? If you remember, that's how we used to be. We thought our friends got us and our parents didn't. And I told him the other day, I said, I realized that I don't spend enough time connecting with you and I feel like we're drifting apart. Nothing's broken, but if we go the way they are, pretty soon we're going to be looking at each other from really far away, not knowing how to connect with ourselves. So I said, I want to rectify that. He said, okay, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to spend equal amount of time with you as I do with your brother. So after I tuck your brother in, you and I are going to hang out for 15, 20 minutes on your bed, just chilling. We don't even have to talk, just chilling. And he loved that idea. So that is how I am touching on setting the intention to work on my relationship with my kids. Now with my husband, so going back to that topic, we are a very strong team and we're a very strong couple, but I've also noticed that we're not being intentional about connecting with each other. His work is super busy. I'm super busy with my work, and kids, like I do most of the legwork when it comes to our kids. And that's great because his work, like he's the, breadwinner in our family right now. And I love taking that aspect on of our life, right? But it can become really easy to just say, oh, we're really busy, our relationship's fine. And and this is how you start drifting apart. Like nobody knows, where did we go wrong in our relationship? There's usually not one single pivotal point, unless unfortunately you have a spouse that cheated on you or whatever. But even that rupture happened because we weren't paying enough attention and pouring enough energy and investing to connect in that relationship. So I have decided that this year, my husband and I have to create more intentional connection points. As a result, we've decided to set up an ongoing weekly date. And instead of just going and getting food and talking about work and kids, which is usually what happens when you go out on a date when you're a married couple, right? Like I have very intentional questions that I want us to ask each other. And I got that idea from like a newsletter that I signed up on. I haven't started it yet, so I'll let you guys know how it goes. But I'm very excited for these questions. In the beginning, again, I know it's going to be deeply uncomfortable to ask each other these type of questions, like what can I be doing better? What can I be doing more of? What is it that I'm doing that you don't maybe like, that I need to eliminate? Like, where do I not feel seen or heard? And then the obvious logistics that come with being a couple, right? Like, what are the travel plans? What like work things do you have going on that I need to know about? What appointments do we need to set up? Like what travel things that we need to book, etc. So the second thing that I'm focusing on this year is building intentional like connection with the most important people in my life. And I've also decided that I want to start sending random texts to people, right? I need to put a number around this because it's too vague in general right now. But I want the important people in my life to know that I'm thinking about them. And when I think about somebody or they bring a smile to my face because I'm on a walk and they came into my mind, I want to text right away and let them know that I was thinking about them. Because whenever someone does that to me, it makes me feel really good. And that's another easy way of building connection with someone instead of just waiting for it to happen by accident. Okay, so those are my two main areas that I'm focusing on for 2023. And it goes without saying that obviously my business will always be a focus and what I do. And funnily enough, I tend to crave a lot of variability or changes in my business because it makes me feel like I'm doing all the things. The more things I do, the more things I change around and try, it feels like I'm doing something when things don't feel like they're happening in my business. And I realized that it's actually a self-sabotaging pattern, thanks to my coach. And we had a really difficult conversation, like the 3rd of January, we had a coaching call. And I wanted to change. I wanted to pivot because I'm like, this is not working. I feel like what we're doing is not getting me the results I desire. And she told me some really difficult things about how it's important to stick to things. She said, you're no longer like a brand new person in the coaching industry. You are someone who's really experienced. And part of building a business, yes, in the beginning, you are trying to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. And that's part of building a business when you are brand new, right? Because you don't know what you're good at yet. You don't know where you need to hone your skills. You don't know what's really resonating with you versus your audience. So it's normal for you to try all the things. But she goes, in this stage of your career, You know what works. You're just not getting more of what you want. But the thing that you have going on works. It like delivers the results that your clients need and want. So we're just going to keep doing more of it, right? And I hated her for saying that because I'm in this stage where I'm like, I feel a little bit wobbly in my business, to be honest. Like, I know I'm really good at what I do, but there are times in our career where we all lack self-belief. And for me, that discomfort of like, do I really have what it takes? I was used to avoiding and distracting from that emotion by doing something new and following the next shiny new thing in my business, instead of doubling down and going deeper and committing, right? Again, that word committing keeps showing up. And so that's really what she's holding me to, my coach. And I love her because we had the hardest conversations. My eyes were leaking the whole time I was being coached in my last call. But, you know, when things get really, really, really challenging in life, what you really need is for someone to call you out on your BS in a loving way and to hold you to your promise and to your commitment and to help you realize that you do have what it takes. And all it takes is a little bit of time and faith, and that what you're doing isn't ultimately broken. But all of that, it would have never happened if I'm doing it on my own and hitting my head against the wall. And this is why the value of investing in an expert to help you in any area of your life that's really important to you is essential. Like, my personal growth in my business is extremely important to me because it leads to my fulfillment. And so why wouldn't I get help with that? Like, it makes no sense to not get help from my side of life right now, like how I've grown and changed. It makes total sense for me to go, heck, my business is important. So it makes sense that I hire an expert to guide me through this building process. In the same way, my physical health is extremely important. I don't want to be 60 and be immobile and unflexible, right? So why wouldn't I invest in someone who knows what the heck they're doing, and they're going to hold me to my commitment when I want to quit? Because it's very normal to want to quit. Everybody wants to quit at some point when things get really, really, really challenging, right? And that's normal. Like, you're not a failure. You're not weak for wanting to quit. But how you overcome that is what determines your success or your lack of success, right? What do you do when you face those pivotal moments in your life of like, do I throw in the towel? Okay. And I can record a whole other episode of when to know when to quit, because there is a right time and a wrong time to quit. Quitting because it's too hard is the wrong time to quit. Quitting because it doesn't feel right anymore is the right time to quit. And it takes practice to get there, but that's a whole nother episode. So this was kind of like all over the place, but I really wanted to share with you guys where my head was at in 2023. And I'm going to go into a shameless plug. I've had so many wonderful conversations already this year with potential clients that are ready to work with me. And I want to invite you to apply to see, I call it an application, but really it's like first name, last name, and phone number. I want to invite you to consider Reclamation, my 4-month coaching program. It is a program unlike any other because it's not just mindset coaching. I incorporate body-based change as well, because we want to, make transformation, create transformation on a mind and body level. And ultimately, the result that you get from Reclamation is to help you become the confident, free, powerful version of you that you keep dreaming about every night. What if I could become that woman, right? And Reclamation is the program to help you make that a reality and not just a crazy dream that you have that sometimes it might be hidden and you might not have ever shared that with anyone. And Reclamation is the program to get you there. Check out the link to book a call with me. It's a 30-minute, no obligation call, and you'll walk away with a really better understanding of why you are stuck and feeling suffocated in life. And if we decide it's not a good fit to work together, you'll walk away with some really actionable insight and just some like ahas around why do I feel the way that I do. All right, guys, that is it for this week. I love you guys so much. I'll catch you on the next episode.